Hello, everyone. This is Officer Cervantes. Welcome to today's media availability, November 15, 2022. Thank you for joining us. Just a friendly reminder to raise your hand if you have a question. Chief, you may begin.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to briefly talk about our crime picture as of this past Saturday, the 12th of November. We continue to see an improvement in our rate of increase on violent crime and property crime overall. This last Saturday, we ended with a 2.8% increase overall in violent crime. And we also are enjoying a reduction in homicides with 5 fewer homicides this year versus last. That's a meager 1.5% reduction, but we'll take that. This is an area we've been in the plus column earlier this year. We also seen a slowing in the rate of our robberies as well as our aggravated assaults. On the property crime, similar, we're seeing improvements in each of those categories. And overall Part 1 crime ended this past Saturday with a 7.7% increase. A month ago, that was an 8.7% increase. So again, week to week, we're seeing incremental improvements. I do believe that this is a direct result of our collective efforts working with a number of stakeholders in preventing crimes and hardening the target, ensuring good business practices, as well as in the residential areas, as well as the hard work of our men and women of the department. We've, over the last 4 months, have applied a number of added patrol and investigative resources that have been supported by overtime funding that the council and mayor approved for this budgetary year. And those thousands of additional hours are resulting in hundreds of arrests and recovering of additional guns, as well as identifying people responsible for this underlying violence here. So I look forward to that. I want to report just briefly and talking about gun violence that continues to be our nemesis, though, as we look versus 2019, we still have a 45% increase in the number of homicides this year versus 2019. And our shooting violence is a 43% increase this year versus 2019. So while we have a reduction of 64 fewer shooting victims this year versus last, which is a 5% reduction, we recognize that the pandemic years were years that were very unstable and interpreting crime reduction in regards to those most recent years is less of a tuning fork than it is looking at the pre-pandemic, which was in 2018, 2019. And speaking of gun violence, we have now recovered more than 6,500 firearms off of individuals across this city. And of that, nearly 1,400 are ghost guns. These are statistics as of the end of September. So I'm sure that we've added hundreds more to that recovery. And I also want to announce that on December 3rd, the department, in support of Mayor Garcetti and his Office of Public Safety, will be hosting 2 gun buybacks across the city. One in Valley Traffic at their location in the Van Nuys area, and one at Exposition Park in South Los Angeles, just outside of the Coliseum. The December 3rd operating times will be from 8 in the morning until 1 p.m. And members of the public can bring and surrender firearms, rifles, pistols, any functional firearm that is brought forward will receive gift cards through the generosity of a number of various corporations that provided the mayor's office with those gift cards. They'll be provided with those as a stipend, as a thank you. Also, the surrendering of these weapons can be done anonymously. There'll be no collection of any identification of the individual or the vehicle they're in, and those weapons are going to be immediately destroyed. So there'll be no tracebacks or other inquiry as to where those weapons have origined. I just encourage members of the media, if you would, begin to bring attention to that. We do think that is an important element for awareness in regards to gun safety. We have far too many firearms that are stored improperly in our residences, that are stored casually underneath beds and in closets, and unfortunately become a target of individuals who break into these homes in search of that type of contraband, the type of weapon that they can then sell on the streets and to individuals who are oftentimes violent predators and later use those weapons against others. With that, I'll conclude my remarks. I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Chief. I don't see any hands raised. However, does anyone have a question for the chief?
Very good.
Sir, looks like there's no questions. Do you have any final thoughts?
No, I just, in case we don't speak again, we have Thanksgiving week coming up shortly. And I just wish for all Evangelinos to express, to use this time, these holidays as a period of reflection, of gratitude for their health, their welfare. Also to recognize the severe losses we've seen over this pandemic and the turmoil that it's created. So November for Los Angeles Police Department is a month of gratitude and reflection of while we've had many losses and incurred suffering and setbacks, that we also have much to be grateful for. And that's just, we wish every member of our communities a happy and a joyous Thanksgiving, time with their friends and family, and a time and opportunity to reflect and be grateful for what we have as Americans. That'll be it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We'll see you in the next media availability in about 2 weeks, which will be approximately the first week of December. Everyone have a happy Thanksgiving. And also, if you guys are still logged on, I see TOC logged on. What media entity are you from? If you can hear me, TOC.